Good morning. It's Reverend Tony here, out for a morning walk with Pancake the dog. It's Ash Wednesday in the beginning of Lent, so I thought it'd be a great day to restart the morning walk video series. Come take a walk with us.
Pancake says, click the thumbs up button and please subscribe so you don't miss her videos.
Well, it's been a while since I made a morning walk video. I had some injuries to my Achilles tendon, then I was dealing with some sciatica, so quite a while has gone by, quite a lot of time's gone by since I made one of these, because for a while my walks were very short and they were full of physical discomfort. But things have gotten better, and I think it's time to restart the morning walk series. And Ash Wednesday is today, so it seemed like a good day to kick it all off again. Ash Wednesday begins the Christian season of Lent, which is a 6-week period of preparation to celebrate Easter, traditionally marked by prayer and fasting and such. In recent times, more of the focus of Lent has become returning to your spiritual life, kickstarting spiritual practice, getting more in touch with God. And even Unitarian Universalists have started marking Lent as a season to deepen their spirituality, their spiritual practice. When I was growing up Roman Catholic, we were always told we had to give something up for Lent. When I was growing up, we were told we had to give something up for Lent as Catholics, and it was usually candy and stuff like that. It wasn't a real deep spiritual exercise. As I got older and got into seminary, I noticed that the practice of Lent had been more to pick something up. Instead of giving something up, pick something up, add something to your life that's a little bit of spiritual practice or spiritual discipline to help you focus on God or spirit or however that works for you. My wife is an Episcopal priest and is off at church this morning distributing ashes. The ashes are a mark of mortality. We remember our mortality on Ash Wednesday and let it humble us as we begin the spiritual journey towards Easter. I think Lent has a lot to offer us, however we approach it. This past week, I was in a spiritual direction group I have with a couple other spiritual directors, and we looked at the text from Joel. Let me read that to you and show it to you.
Yet even now, says the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting, with weeping, and with mourning. Rend your hearts and not your clothing. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, abounding in steadfast love, and relenting from punishment. Who knows whether he will not turn and relent and leave a blessing behind him, a grain offering and a drink offering for the Lord your God.
And hear that text in Joel, there's language about God being loving, kind, and compassionate. And right afterwards, there's language about, do the right thing and maybe God will grant you a blessing. Like maybe God won't be such a bad guy. It occurred to us in our group this week that this presented two different views of God. You can have a view of God that's encompassing and compassionate and full of grace and love, or you can have a view of God that's about punishment and hurt. A cosmic guardian or watchdog that's always watching out for you to do something wrong to get you, to punish you. I never thought much of that view of God. Years ago, the Catholic priest and sociologist Andrew Greeley did some work with what he called the grace scale and how people's images of God influenced how they looked at the world, their opinions on social issues and such. And he offered people a series of pairs of dichotomies, of binaries, of how people can imagine God. Here's what the grace scale was about. The grayscale measured the correlation between people's image of God and their likelihood to support progressive and liberal political viewpoints. Distributed as part of the General Social Survey out of the University of Chicago in 1985 and 1987, thousands of participants were asked to choose their image of God. Is God more a friend to you or more a king? Is God more a spouse or a master? Is God more a lover or a judge? Is God more mother or father? Participants were also asked questions about their social conscience, including, are you in favor of equal rights for women? Do you support affirmative action? Do you support the LGBTQIA plus community? Do you favor or reject the death sentence? Do you support governmental assistance for the poor? Do you support civil liberties? And Greeley found there was an extremely high correlation between viewing God as friend, spouse, lover, and mother, and a responder's likelihood to support equal rights, affirmative action, LGBTQIA equality, governmental assistance programs, civil liberties, and to be opposed to the death penalty and excessive military spending. And this correlation held true across gender, age, regions of the country, race, ethnicity, and income. The correlation was even higher the more education a person had. People scoring high on the grayscale were significantly less likely to vote Republican. With that grayscale, you can think of God as king and judge and father, or you can think of God as friend and lover and helper. And it stands to reason that if your view of God is king and judge and father, you tend to have less kind and compassionate views on social issues and are more conservative politically. And if you imagine God as lover and friend and mother, you tend to have more liberal opinions and are much more lenient on social issues and tend towards opinions and positions on things that lean towards kindness and compassion and justice. I don't think that's shocking to anyone, I hope not, but it does remind us of what is presented to us when we return to our spirituality. We have an image of God, and maybe it is we create God as we go along together. What can God be like? What's God's possibilities? Any image of God I've not liked before is because God is made to be way too small, that some people think they've got God all figured out. And the God they've got all figured out tends to be mean and capricious and waiting to play gotcha and smite people. That's a God I really don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to hang out with that guy at a bar, never mind let that guy be God, you know? So I much more go for the loving and caring side of God. This year for Lent, the spiritual practice Pancake and I are going to take up is making more morning walk videos, trying to get one out every week and return to our practice of reflecting on things as we take a walk in the morning. We hope to bring you along with us on those walks. Thanks again for being here. Till next time, bye. Love ya.
Thanks a lot for watching this video. It would help me out a great deal if you liked the video to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others, maybe ring that notification bell so you can be informed when we put out other videos like this. Check out my website and blog at tonylorenzen.com for even more resources that will open your mind, touch your heart, and inspire your spirit.